Oh, hey there. What's up, everybody? We're down here in the Weld.com lab in Florida, and what's better to do in Florida than skateboard? Well, unfortunately, my sciatica is acting up, so I brought in some shredders. I got Mac Daddy Shreds, our business development manager here at Weld.com, and Derrick from Coppertail Brewing. They both know how to shred way harder than me, so we need to make them a rail to shred. First, we had to go pick up some metal, so this morning me and Austin thought ahead and went over to metal supermarkets to pick some up. I got the rail!
And we also got these two drop-down pieces we're gonna miter cut and add on to the end.
And we've got a couple pieces laying around the shop they're going to use to add as legs and feet.
You certified to operate that there, Derrick?
Negative.
Dude, don't worry. It's not hard. It's not tough. I'm going to give you the crash course on it real quick. All right. Acetylene, oxygen. First, check everything. Make sure that there's no leaking anywhere and nothing's damaged. You want to turn this oxygen on. You can go ahead and give that all the way. Then you want to do this acetylene. Just one good turn because it's a safety concern. If you want, you can turn it off a lot quicker. We want about a 3-to-1 ratio. So you're going to go ahead and get this oxygen, add that pressure on there. Got about 30 psi that you want to get to. If we're at a 3-to-1 ratio, if we're at 30 here, about 10 here, and that's just a give or take. Just don't go over 15 because it's unstable. Get it up a little bit under 10, but we want working pressure, so make sure you crack each one of those and make sure you've got the exact working pressure for that torch.
Looks good to me.
He loves it. Okay, so Derrick, we got 3 knobs here. We want to make sure we open this oxygen one at the bottom all the way. This is going to regulate that. So right now, we're going to just barely crack this. We want to crack just with fuel. Then we want to light it, right? We see that black smoke there. You want to turn that fuel up until there's no black smoke anymore. That's how you got just enough acetylene. And then you can go ahead and slowly turn that oxygen. And if you want to make sure you got it right, hit that lever. You see how those feathers are a little bit longer? We want to tighten it up, hold it down. Tighten it up till those are gone. We're perfectly ready to cut.
Awesome.
Now we've got Derrick set up on a fence, so he's got a nice perfect guide to make this acetylene cut. So he just has to really control his angle and his cut speed. Make sure you keep enough distance off. Our fence is just tall enough that we have clearance. If he bumps that steel at all, you're gonna see that backfire. It bounced your cut right out, didn't it?
Yeah, sure did.
You just cut just a little bit fast. So make sure you favor that side. Go ahead and line back up. Favor the steel we don't want to keep. Get it hot. Punch back into it. Line up your line and just keep flowing, bro. Always bring that hammer to the torch fight. But hey, it cut right through. Hey, Mac, have you ever used one of these?
No, never.
Okay, no worries. They're not too scary. Let me give you the quick rundown. First off, we want to take this level. Look at that level for me. Right when the bubble's in the center, you tell me exactly when.
Keep it going, still going, almost there. You're good, you're good.
And once
Stop,
we've got
stop.
everything level, we want to get down over here to the square. We're going to run this thing back, even though we just got that level. That jack's going to keep it there. We want to make sure that our back fence here is at the 0 that we're going to cut these pieces at square. So we're going to go ahead and square it up with our saw. Looks good. We're going to run that material back on in. Go ahead and pull that to 8 inches right there. Come on, 8. You're not even at 8. That's 7 and some change. Come on, find the 8. Nailed it. Okay. Now take this square it up with it, get it right on that 8, and mark it. Now we're going to push it back. Line it up with the saw. We want to make sure that that blade lands right on the side of the line that we want to keep. We want to keep this material.
Yes.
So if we land right on that line, we're going to have not our 8 inches that we hoped for. We're going to have a little less. You're going to take that clamp, slam it into that piece of tubing, and now we're going to wiggle it. Before you hammer down on the tightness, double check. We're right where we want to be. Now tighten it. You know what's next, Mac?
The saw.
Send it. You got a safety here, so you're going to hold that because you can't pull this trigger unless you push that. Then you push this full, and there you go. You're off to the races. Never start this saw on the material. Leave it up and let the saw do the work. Do not push too hard. You let the saw eat, okay?
Let him eat.
The last bit's hard to get through, right? You're cutting through the top, which is like inch of steel, where this is
Just a little on
quarter
each
inch
side.
of steel, and then that's another inch. So
Yeah, okay.
it takes a second. It's really fast, and it stops, cuts through. Should have just been like just steady pressured.
Woo.
Now that you're a pro at this Mac Daddy Shreds, we've got a little bit of skill level to add to it, and it's all about them miter cuts. So we got to take this thing that we had nice and square. All we're going to do is loosen the back side of it. We're going to look at the angle on the back and set it to about 10 degrees, just so we have a little bit of that drop. Let's go 15.
It's lucky number 15.
So now that we got that saw set to 15, we're going to do the exact same thing, but you got to make sure that these are exactly the same length. So
Right.
is you got to eyeball.
Eyeball it.
We're not too concerned about the overall length, but what we can use is this already existing line on the saw. We're going to take this top corner and we're going to line it up with this line for both of these pieces. I'm going to try to look exactly dead on it from way up top. Just eyeball it. That should be close. That'll get every bit of our miter done. Hammer down! This saw is not in good shape.
Yeah, my ears are ringing out.
Plug your ears. I'm going to finish this cut. We're going to think of a different way. Well, Mac, I think we centered just a little too hard, but we burnt the blade up, pushing it just a hair too hard. That ain't going to cut it. I think I diagnosed the problem. It was really easy to figure out. Aluminum. We've got us a stainless steel blade. That also means it could cut some carbon pretty good. Now you shouldn't have to push too hard now, Mac. The blade's nice.
Excellent.
I think each now. We missed it. Push it just a little bit forward. Doesn't matter the roll because we're gonna recut that entire angle. So, good thing when nothing's to code here. Hey, Mac.
Right.
All right, Mac. So now we got the miter cut in this end. To make sure that it matches on this side, we got to make sure that the roll is right. So if I turn this much, then their two ends are going to be going the different directions. Do you understand?
Yes.
So we want to make sure they're going the right way. One easy way to do it is take this here level, flip this around, get on the end of it here, and go ahead and roll this till you see it being level. When you got this thing straight up and down, roll it to where it's level, and you're good enough for government work. All right, Mac. Well, I think I got it right center. Go ahead and clamp her down. Give her the German. Guten tight. Hammer down. Oh, yeah. After I was able to help the homies cut their parts out, we got to prep them. Derrick and I went around and made sure that all the dross was cut up from his torch cuts. We also removed all the mill scale from anywhere where the welds are going to be. So where those legs are going to hit the feet and where the legs hit the rail, we want to make sure that those are prepped nice and shiny.
All right, guys, we've got everything laid out. We've got our rail, we've got our ends, we've got our feet, we've got our legs. Everything is prepped and clean on the weld sides. And now the only thing we got to go over is the right weld settings.
And I'm so glad y'all did all of that work because my sciatica is screaming louder than them grinders. But that's not the point. The point is, today we're using this Everlast MTS 211 SI. Something you might notice is we don't have a gas nozzle on here. That's because we're using Gasless Flux core today. It's just like MIG, but you don't need the gas because the flux is inside of the wire. We're going to be running 18 volts with 204 inches on our wired feed speed. And this Gasless Flux core wire is just as gnarly as our shredders over here.
All right, now that both sides are tacked, you shouldn't have to hold anything. I'm gonna double check this. So I'm gonna throw another tack on this guy. If you watch what I'm doing, what you're gonna wanna do, this with flux core, you're gonna wanna pull. With MIG, you push. That's it, slag and drag. So watch, it's a small little bead. So I'm gonna tack this one, you're gonna get the rest, right?
All right.
Pull this trigger.
Yeah.
And then pull across. And,
Well, just a little though.
For now, you're just maybe going a quarter to a half an inch.
Okay.
Brace yourself on the table.
Right.
That's a tack. Do just the same exact thing. Come to here. The only thing you're doing this. That's it. Don't worry about what I'm doing because all I'm doing is holding it for you. If you can't get comfortable, tell me to move it this way. Tell me to move it that way. I can hang it off the table if you want. Anywhere that you're comfortable is fine. Now that you've got everything tacked up and everything's gonna stay where it's at, we're gonna go ahead and start welding this out.
Awesome.
I was a little bit close on that. So you got to be careful. You'll burn this tip up.
Okay.
Now it's your turn.
Excellent.
This has got a pretty good gap to it.
Right.
So you're gonna start in this tight part,
Yeah.
and then as you're building material, move. It's gonna wanna blow through.
Right.
But if you go slow, you're gonna add enough material where it
Okay,
doesn't
okay.
blow
Can I get to where you are?
through. Yes. Give it a shot.
Did I do it?
That's a weld. The homie's got us blended in. Now we've got these feet and legs laid out on both the rail and the feet themselves. We're gonna tack it all up and then we'll weld it out and we're ready to shred. See, and then you can just basically do that.
Oh, okay, okay. Is this the welder's hack?
Yep. And now tack the complete opposite side. Beautiful. Love it.
Excellent.
Love it. Let's tack the other. Love it. When it heats up, just so you know, it tries to pull. So what it did there, after the tack, it pulled to you. So now we basically
Push away.
push away. I'm actually gonna have you tack right here,
Okay.
and maybe we can pull it back just a touch. Love it. I am generally the safe person.
We're getting them centered right now so that we can make sure that we can skate this and shred. Woo-hoo! What happened?
You got a little close. Beautiful.
All right, I definitely didn't miss it then. For show.
All right, now we're done welding this thing out. All we got to do is clean this
Wait,
thing
wait,
up.
isn't it ready to skate?
No, we got to clean this thing up. No, we got to clean it up.
right.
Okay, well, I guess we're done.
Yes.
And that's it for today's episode, guys. We're gonna see if these two can land something today. But guys, if you want to see more cool flux core videos, please ask us. Leave some comments down below. We're gonna get to them, man.
Right here.
It's right here.
Right here.
Hey!